Hi everyone, our video blog this week, we're meeting with the city to learn how we're getting ready for the spring. The month of March means maybe snow, maybe cold, maybe rain, but what we know is the summer is heading our way, so the city's getting ready, cutting the ice here on the Rideau River, filling potholes, taking away the snow, and street sweeping. Take a look.
Alain Gontier, Director of Roads and Parking Services.
Good morning, Alain. How are you doing today?
Very good.
In a Zoom world, we do a Zoom activity, we do a Zoom meeting, but then we get onto the road and we try to see what's happening. So this is a unique video blog. You and I are connecting just to get a sense of the number of logistic elements as the spring arrives. And we're meeting with Bryden. We're going to go see what's happening with the river. So thank you this morning for making yourself available. The month of March is here. A lot of people are happy. I'm happy because I'm a skier and there's no better time to ski than the month of March. I know for many it's the longer, brighter days and the warmer weather ahead that makes them happy. Tell us about our city operations when you think of month of March. As early as this morning, we have a bit of fresh snow on the ground, while last weekend we were blasting on the river to prevent floods. How's the logistics going into to a month like this one?
So good morning. I would say that March brings a lot of positives, but it's probably the most unpredictable month also that we have from an operational perspective, because we're still in that transition between end of winter, where we still have a lot of winter events, often that are difficult to forecast. And we're also transitioning into spring preparations. So we talk about basically flood reduction measures. We talk about pothole season, and also we get into preparations for street sweeping. So there's a lot that occurs in that month, and a lot of unpredictability also, because we're pretty much at the mercy of Mother Nature.
We've seen how popular the outdoors have been. Obviously, challenges for your teams as we were getting on the ice to do some preventing of flooding for neighbors.
Yeah, so one of the important elements about protecting basically the properties along the Rideau River is to do the blasting and the ice breaking operations. If we didn't perform those operations annually, we would see significant risk of flooding for a number of properties. And those are activities that typically start early February, where we start to cut keys into the ice. At the end, it looks almost like piano keys that we have. And the reason why we do that are twofolds. Is one, it helps to significantly reduce the amount of blasting that we have to use. So certainly benefits from an environmental perspective, but also as the ice breaks, it's easier to control the ice as they go through the bridge piers and also through the Rideau Falls Dam. So everything is done really in a controlled fashion to try to minimize ice jamming as much as possible. And that operation continues for about 9 kilometers up to Hogsback.
Hi, my name is Bryden Denius. I'm the area manager for Urban Roads, and this is the Herdman Yard. So today we're at the Herdman Yard. We're talking about our maintenance programs on roadways and sidewalks. We're going to look at some of the key elements we use to help achieve those safe transportation assets. We'll be looking at salt in our salt dome and the grit material we use on our sidewalks and residential streets, as well as our calcium chloride liquid that we use to pre-treat our salt to reduce how much salt we use. We're at the 29 Herdman Yard Maintenance Dome. This is where we store our salt for treating the roads, sidewalks, and the winter cycling network during the winter season. As you can see, there's quite a bit of material in here. We do go through a fair amount of salt to keep the transportation network safe during the winter. And we continually have to refill this dome to meet the changing needs of the city's transportation network. Behind me we have our calcium tanks. So this is our liquid calcium. This is where we store it, and it's loaded onto the trucks, so when we're salting the roadways, as the salt's coming off the truck, the calcium is sprayed onto the salt. This allows the salt to activate faster, but it also makes it stick and just more effective product. It also, by pre-treating, allows us to use up to 20% less salt during our work, which is a critical component of how we can do our best to help with protect the environment by using less salt and chlorides. Behind me you see our grit pile. So this is the material we use on residential streets and residential sidewalks. It's a 90% grit, which is like the crushed limestone material, rock, mixed with 10% salt so it doesn't freeze into chunks. We use this material to maintain the snowpack conditions of sidewalks and roadways, but we also use this material when we get extreme cold temperatures. So in the range of below -18, we start switching to grit on all roadways and sidewalks, as salt loses its effectiveness below that -18 temperature range.
When you're ready.
So one thing we really ask residents to do during the winter time is to help move their vehicles off the roads to allow us to clear the roads effectively. This means looking at making alternate parking arrangements, but also watching for when we do issue winter weather parking bans. The winter weather parking ban is a key asset and tool in our toolbox that allows us to clear roads effectively, especially on residential streets where when we have a large volume of parked cars, it is challenging to clear. So if residents can help us by moving their vehicles off the roadways, it's greatly appreciated.